there. I'm dropping in with the fifth, I think this is the fifth of 6 Monday lives where I'm here to share the idea of unwrapping the gifts within so that you can use nervous system regulation to find the way towards a path towards a stress-free holiday season. We know that this season is very hectic and very busy, and a lot of stress can bubble up. So what I've been doing is taking your questions or your challenges that you've sent me. I love that you've sent those along. I really appreciate that. And I'm taking those questions and compiling them, some challenges that you're having around the holidays. And what I'm doing is I'm putting them together, and I see a lot of patterns where there are a lot of similar needs that are coming up for people. So I'm talking about different topics to help you use super simple, quick tools to help you navigate the season from a place of ease and stay connected to peace. So this week I'm going to talk about grief. I've had a lot of people share that they struggle with the holiday season because they have feelings of joy right beside feelings of grief. And I'm going to give you 3 super simple tools to use that take 5 minutes or under, even if you put them all together, and you can do them as a standalone and they can take even less time. So these tools will help you in this season where a lot of intense emotions bubble up. And, everybody's talking about all the joy and the happiness, and that's there. And hopefully you can find moments, little glimmers in your day and your week, in your holiday activities to connect to that. But it doesn't deny that we also can have intense feelings like grief and other intense feelings, loss, betrayal, confusion, all of those feelings. And what I want to share is that when you learn to process the big, heavy, intense emotions by using the tools you have already within, that's your nervous system regulation tools, you can make it so that you do stay connected to the peace. And I think one of the first things I want to share is that it's okay to have somewhat conflicting emotions, to have, exhaustion right next to anticipation and excitement, to have joy right next to overwhelm, to have grief right next to peace at times, hopefully. And it can feel hard to have conflicting emotions, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So today, I just want to remind you of some things we've talked about in previous Monday lives, and I've also talked about these a lot in my other programs. Of course, you've heard this a lot now. You're probably realizing that doing the PACE sequence, that's the water, the brain buttons, the cross crawl, and the hookup in a sequence, that is going to get you through this holiday season. I know I've said it just about every Monday that I've hopped on live, but really doing that every day, kind of make it something like brushing your teeth. And not just for the holiday season, but also through the whole year throughout, because that is going to organize you from the inside out. Nervous system regulation is kind of a hot topic. It's a trendy topic or a trendy statement these days. And yet it's something that really is timeless. And I don't really come at it from that trendy viewpoint. Being an OT and a brain gym practitioner, we're all about regulating emotions and sensations and being in tune with our body. So the idea of doing PACE every day is just a very simple way you can constantly get yourself every day, a ritual, get yourself organized from the inside out. And if you want to see some videos, I have lots of videos of PACE on my YouTube channel. And I actually have variations. If you get bored of doing the same PACE, which it can maybe feel like it needs a little snazzing up, sometimes in Workin' Wednesdays or on my YouTube channel, I have over 30 different variations of PACE. I just wanted to put that out there with some variations to keep you going with that. So doing PACE is really helpful. Now, I want to give you 3 other tools that are super simple to help with intense emotions such as grief. It's important to realize that we need to move through emotions. Excuse me. I'm just going to take a sip of water here. It's important to realize that we need to move through emotions. And one of the best ways to move through emotions is with certain types of movements. Now, before I show you these 2 movements, I want to give you the idea, the message that you always want to finish with a cross body, meaning my opposite arm goes to my opposite side of my body, my opposite leg, for example. You always want to do something contralateral, opposite arm and leg. You could even do, a Saturday Night Live move like this. But I'm also going to encourage and invite you to cross that midline, because that midline is where we feel the safety. And when we're moving through and dealing with intense emotions like grief, it's important that we can come back to a safe space within, right? So the first thing I would recommend, and you could do this lying down or standing, is to move through a snow angel type of movement. So just a side to side, I'm going to go off screen here for a second, side to side kind of snow angel movement. And you don't have to bring your arms all the way up if your shoulder's cranky. And doing this motion is where the big emotions live. This is where some of the old traumas can live too. So doing some snow angels and doing them lying down or standing. During the day, you might want to stand and do this so you can kind of invigorate your system, get some movement, get some blood flow. If you're really tired, go ahead and lie down. Give yourself the opportunity to lie down. That's absolutely great. So first doing that motion, and really be present. What do you notice? What sensations are bubbling up to the surface? Acknowledge those. Don't shove them back down. Try to think about how you're moving to integrate those big emotions. So you just did your snow angel movement, lying down or standing or even out in the snow if we get snow. And then the very next thing you want to do is your cross crawl. Super simple cross body movement. Wrist to opposite thigh. You could do this lying down if you chose to do the lying down version of the snow angel. And you want to do a fair bit of this. You want to do more of this than you do of the snow angel. And again, you can do this seated in a chair. So seated, cross crawling or lying down. This is going to integrate the right and left side of the brain in the body. So we want that cross body. That's where we become empowered to use both sides of our brain and our body in the best way possible, in the easiest way possible, so that we can peacefully process those intense emotions like grief that can bubble up this time of year. So just to summarize, we've done snow angel movements, right? Standing and traveling to the side or lying down, and then we did cross crawl. Now, if you have extra time, go ahead and do the cross crawl first, then your snow angels, then do more cross crawls. Now, that's about moving through intense emotions. So let's get a little bit more specific with grief. And you could make this sort of a moving meditation. I love to create moving meditations for the people that I serve to help them find the inner peace and the calm. So after you do those movements, snow angel, cross crawl, always end with cross crawl, remember, then we can do something called neural fascial processing. And this is very still hands-on work. It's part of the work that I put together that's called SOSs, Soothe Ourselves, because we can soothe ourselves, right? And this is based on some work from one of my teachers. It's called neural fascial processing. And we're going to take our hand, open it really big, and put it over the lungs. The lungs represent grief. And we're going to just process. We're going to take our second hand and we could put it in various positions, but we want to just support ourselves in draining grief. We have to acknowledge and recognize the grief, but we want to help process it and move it through. So then what we'd want to do is take the second hand and put it on the ureters, which is on your back body, just beneath the rib cage. Some people don't feel comfortable reaching around and holding, because we want to hold this for a good 15 to 20 minutes. Some people don't feel comfortable with that. So I say just put it on the front body and imagine you're going all the way back through to the back body. So I have lungs, which are about grief, and ureters, really here, but I can put it here, which is about drainage. And we're connecting to these spots to just help drain. Let's say you're short on time and you do your snow angels and your cross crawl, but you just go here and you hold for 4 big inhales and exhales. That's fantastic. You can hold those spots for 4 inhales and exhales and tell yourself you'll come back to it later. Maybe when you go to bed at night, or maybe when you're listening to a program, a podcast later, or watching a TV program doing this. It doesn't always have to be in that sort of meditative space. It's nice when it can be, but you can also access it at other times as well. So this is a really wonderful tool for draining grief, big feelings, loss. There are other tools like this, but today we're really focused on grief. You have the opportunity to move, snow angels, and cross crawl, or if you have extra time, cross crawl first, then your snow angels, then cross crawl again, and then end with this hands-on self-soothing. Again, super quick tool, nervous system regulation. I hope you found this helpful. I have one more Monday that I'm popping in with these Instagram lives next Monday. So if you have a question or a holiday challenge stressor, you can DM me, you can email me, you can text me, whatever way you have to reach me, and send it to me because I'm covering these in upcoming lives. But I also program sometimes the Workin' Wednesday movement sequences to support the questions that you have. And you can feel free to drop questions in the comments right now. If there's anything that you saw here that really spoke to you, I also want to make you aware of my Holiday Harmony program. It's a short but impactful program with nervous system regulation tools. There's a 40-ish minute moving meditation that builds on the principles I talked about today. There's also an 18-ish minute, very gentle work-in, as I call it, which is nervous system regulation with a little bit of core connection. And then another moving meditation that is more specifically going to support emotions like grief. And if that's something you're curious about, you can go to inspiredwell.com/holiday harmony. That's inspiredwell.com/holiday harmony. And I hope that you can give these moves a little sample on your own time. I love your questions. I'm a question girl. Please send me your questions so that I can support it in future content. A lot of times the content I create is from the questions that the people I serve bring to me. And so it sparks a new direction in the content I'm creating. Thanks so much for being here today. Move through those emotions and have a wonderful holiday season. Bye.